wither away for the season, but the seed pods are all...
A couple seeds?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I already had them.
Did you?
That's what I did in the bathroom.
Is that what happened last night?
Huh? Oh, look at that arch.
Above and below it. And then an arch is a span of rock which goes above the ground but not over a drainage. Now there's a lot of gray area in between them.
The window and arch for sure, huh?
Yeah.
This one you could either say, you maybe could say it's a window and arch, the upper one being a window. Found thus far in the park. And there are groups of people who go out looking for new ones all the time. There's a whole Facebook group that are just dedicated to doing it. Look over here, we see the juniper tree covered in berries. What comes from the berries?
Gin.
Yeah, there we go. You guys are not non-drinkers. Are they actually berries?
Can't answer that one.
They are cones. The juniper is a conifer tree. Also, only, you guys, let's step to one side of the trail so people can walk past. Now I know I am off the trail right now. Please don't imitate me in this. Only female junipers have the berries or the cones.
Oh, really?
I was looking over here, I didn't see any berries.
Male. The cones are super rich in vitamin C. Critters and native people would eat them. Natives would generally only eat them in times of famine or disease. They're not like a staple. White crab.
The rock.
Ah, yeah. No, that's the backbone. And now that prevents you away from something that
Pine tree
all
arch.
opinions in a region to produce. So when they produce, it's all produced. All in an area will produce.
There was a couple young women, and they're having canned goods down there. And they're all parking.
So it's right on the line. It's pretty much 50-50 of people who want tourism down there. And so it's
I really want to.
yes. He knows his stuff well. Massive arch.
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest
blends
arches
in.
the park. And if you look at the right side of the arch, you can see that pile of debris underneath it. So in 1990, I always get this wrong. I think 1991, there was a big collapse that was captured on a photo, which is up on the sign up yonder. And so a lot of times on this tour, I will talk about geologic time. When I say geologic time, usually I'm referring to like, oh, this is relatively new geologic time, meaning like 50,000 years instead of 200 million, right? How do you know who Aaron Ralston is?
Yeah. And then guy cut his hand off.
Yep, the guy that cut his hand off in the slot canyon.
Oh, yeah, when he got stuck.
When he got stuck. That is Aaron Ralston. And in his book, he has a quote which he says, it's easy for us to forget that geologic time is also now. And in his reference, he's referring to the boulder coming down on his arm, but it's a good reminder in general. So we say, well, you know, these arches have stood for...
I'd definitely like to go to the store and get some WD-40 luck over there. We want that. That'd be cool.
That's where we'll go.
It's more spectacular than what I had pictured, though. This is
Pretty magic. It's not too bad. Like when you're going down, like I can walk on this almost vertical stuff without sliding. The position you want on the down is what I call the pouty teenager. So I used to say, like, has anyone been downhill skiing? You want like proper downhill ski form, but then like a lot of people hadn't been, right? And so now my new solution is the pouty teenager. Slumped, knees bent. You just walk right down this stuff. So what it is you have your weight shifted ever so slightly forward with your knees bent. And you weight just barely forward. Just like Ken's doing right now. Great job. Pouty teenager. Now,
can't I have the car?
a lot of people will want to do this because they want to be closer to the ground. This will make you slip because, again, like I showed earlier, the closer you are to the rock, the more your feet want to go out. Right? So you want to be weight-centered, pouty teenager. Oh, in Sedona?
Yeah.
Yeah. That backside of the hangover loop is tricky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pause for the cause. Listen to me breathing on this. Is that the right way?
This must be why he told us to run stairs for 2 hours a day.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
Oh, yeah.
Walk right up there with you.
Will you film me?
Yeah, I got you. I'll film you. Go ahead and go. Oh, go ahead. I don't care which way you go.
I'm not dog calling you. I instinctively, whenever I go off balance, make that sound. And I don't know why, it's just like habituated.
But if we hear a loud thump after that.
Well, then you should probably...
Someone looking to pass. Dan, right
Pardon?
behind you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You should have said, "Get the hell out of my way." Oh, that's awesome.
Look at that.
Wow.
Also, a very great photo opportunity.
Oh my God.
We're going to take our packs off, take a little break, and you guys can scamper around and do some exploration if you so desire, or you can sit and enjoy the view.
That is spectacular.
And there's also the little window up top.
Yeah. Oh, this is breathtaking. Oh, yeah. It is a little flatter down there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's easy.
This is unbelievable. Thank you for mentioning it. I've never thought about coming out here.
We're gonna have you say that the whole trip.
Picked up on that.
Great example of pollution pockets. Although it being on the underside is going to keep it this way a lot longer, right? Because if it's out on an exposed face, it's going to get eroded away much faster and smooth out.
Awesome.
Now, I got have a big party at the end of it, and there's a lot of options to go out into
What do you think, Austin? A little more adventurous than what we thought, huh?
Still pretty mild. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, be careful up here. It's bad.
So way out in the distance, you can see some mountains. That's Colorado. And enjoy the views up here. They're pretty nice.
A view from where we ate lunch.
One, maybe we can count as one or two. It's two. Count as two. Three, right here. Plus Black Arch. 4. Plus the little one where you were standing at Black Arch. 5.
Right.
Partition gets 2. So 6, 7. Navajo, 8. Landscape, 9. Tunnel,
Going down.
2.
Scares me.
10, 11. And Pine Tree Arch, 12. Not including any we saw in the distance.
Oh, man.
We pack them in arches. The reason I like the 100 and 400 though is because I got the F2.8 model. 72 Master.
Yeah.
That was a pretty pain to see. I'm going to let y'all wander up and explore, and I'm going to go find a book. hiking is mild, but the sightseeing. Substances, whether that be coffee or caffeine or alcohol, although they are now allowed to drink Coke and Pepsi products ever since God determined that was okay, since Mormons bought majority share in Coke and Pepsi. But they used to drink copious amounts of this tea as a workaround in the system. It is not caffeine, it is not on the forbidden drinks list, and so this was a popular beverage. It's also an evergreen, so it never changes, and there are male and female versions, but I'm really bad at telling the difference between the two. Which is a subspecies of grizzly bear. Whereas down in Tucson, there's like much bigger species than this. The reason these guys are so small is because the temperatures up here are a lot colder than lower in the desert, where they can have much more resources to grow with.
It's spread out though.
They are.
Who was the big writer back, like in the 70s?
Ewell Gibbons.
I read his book.
Wild hickory nuts.
Edible wild foods and related subjects.
Yep. Yes, exactly.
I don't know where that came from.
You just pulled that one.
Yeah,
That's good.
There was no digging around for it either. That was just immediate.
I think they even had a room in one of her folks' homes that they call the Back to Nature room, or the Ewell Gibbons room.
See?
It's cold.
It was.
And a lot of native tribes would take these leaves, they'd cut them off, fray the end, or like bite the end until it was frayed, and use that as a paintbrush. You can also use the leaves for textile and for
First
weaving.
bite, you'd want to be careful.
Well, you don't bite the sharp end.
the
You
other
bite
end.
the other end where you cut it off, because it's got that flat bristle. These ones aren't as bad as some other species of yucca and agave, but in general, they're sometimes known as cowboy killers. Because if you fall off your horse into a patch of yucca, it's a bad day. Again, the narrow-leaf ones, because they're smaller, they're not quite as sturdy, but you still wouldn't want to fall on these points. They will puncture you.
So the banana.
I have to all the time, it seems like.
Do you have face recognition?
Yes, and it's just not doing it.
Oh my goodness. Is that big?
I don't know if that looks cool or not. Kind of from the side.
So how many people do you think would walk on that arch if they didn't say don't walk on arch?
They still do.
Oh, they still do?
You're fine. Well, oh, you're all good. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna get in your way.
So still, Bates Wilson was always disappointed. More of it wasn't able to get protected. But he was successful. And what is protected in a national park? So we have everything we can see and touch, the plants, animals, soil, water, the night sky. We're protecting our natural resources. It's pretty pristine. But we're also protecting cultural resources. So the archaeology sites, Bates Wilson.
Especially this time of year, all sorts of famous climbers will be out there climbing for usually the months of October and November.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Combining a couple different tracks. Yeah, maybe.
Hello.
If you walk long enough, you'll probably see some vehicles following around here. On a quiet day, you can hear them. Because not a lot of people, well, many people build,
Oh, yeah.
many people build carrots do not actually know the purpose of
Why they're
carrots.
particular, yeah, actually to make it
And
like putting a lock on it.
And you said the white sandstone is a hard.
no, the white rim sandstone is a hard layer of sandstone, and it forms a very solid cap rock on all those softer formations down below. I don't know that it's the hardest. The white rim sandstone wouldn't be harder than, say, the Wingate sandstone. Over there is called a laterite butte, and laterite butte is sort of a good map marker. Out here, navigation can be very hard, especially pre-GPS, and so laterite butte was a good way to sort of like climb up, get a lay of the land, be like, oh, there's laterite butte, I need to head in that direction, or if that's there, I need to head in X direction. This whole area, this high ridge out here, is called the High Spur. And it is not part of Canyonlands, it's part of something called Robber's Roost. And it's this whole network of little passageways and stuff, which is why they call it this. So from here we are standing in one district, and we can see all three.
So we're on the islands. That's the maze, and the needles are over there.
Yep, all those jagged
the needles are over
formations
there,
out
that's
there.
right,
That's the Needles district.
Cool.
And then the confluence is behind this butte. Now look down here, you can see some of the...
Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
I always like to do that and tighten my core.
Quit shaking the rock.
Like it freaks me out to think to look over.
It works pretty well. Doesn't have slick rock.
halfway up. Almost onto the tail. And then we'll give Ken his sprint.
That's right.
That was my sprint right there.
I feel like I want to do that.
If I did it, I'd throw up.
Here you can see we're on this outer expulsion ridge, and then there's a second one coming off right here.
Wow.
Also, from up here, you can see the Green River down through Upheaval Canyon.
All right.
What is that called again?
Candlestick.
We saw from the other side, right?
Not run into the pine tree, which I am. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm not going to.
How do we rate this one?
I know, but it's like a teen. It's like a baby.
Uh-huh.
A newborn.
He's got time still or so.
See, I could
They're
do that
little,
with my
they're
kids.
flexible, their knees work. It's true. That's true. Or work the way there's, you know.
It's a great picture. Great family photo.
Another way you can do it is this.
All right, shall we go?
Yeah.
Hit the
Bringing up the rear.
Today I will do the Resurrection Moss demo for you.
What is that?
The Resurrection Moss demo.
Oh.
Out of the oil press. So they're not hollow, but it means that it's separated from the rest of the rock, maybe even by just a hairline fracture. But there is separation in there. Versus that sound means it's uniformly connected, broken.
All right, guys.
In there. And so it's one of the few zones out here. There's a couple of them, and they're all restricted for science. It's a zone where the desert is still pristine in its original condition because there's never been grazing on it. impacts of like big flooding, or a river would change its course and deposit a bunch of. To do the demo when it's on rock than when it's on soil.
I thought it was an animal.
What's up?
I thought it was an animal.
No. So this is it's in right now. It's in its dormant stage, which is dry and brittle and gray and black, it can stay in that state for a very long time. But if we add a little water to it. Come on. There we go.
Well, it's like one of those sponges.
Oh, look at it.
Just watch it for a sec. You guys notice about it? Particularly up in here and over here, here.
Well, there are hairs.
Yeah, it's a good one.
There are also, it's kind of weird in this light maybe, but it starts to turn green.
Yeah, I could see
Yes,
that.
I can
See the green.
And if I keep adding water, it'll keep turning more and more and more green until it's like a super bright lime green. Now, to get it to be a super bright lime green, I would have to be adding water for like all day. But what does green mean in a plant?
Oh, that's
Taking in sunlight.
Yes, chlorophyll and photosynthesis. But photosynthesis takes energy. So if it and it takes nutrients to produce energy. So if it's not getting nutrients, then usually it's a more dramatic shade of green than that. Come on.
Well, it's
That
not
one
bad.
close
My
up to
picture.
you is quite
Yeah, that one right there is doing good.
But if it doesn't have any nutrients to draw from in order to photosynthesize, it would just kill itself. It'd be like if you were trying to. So for the prickly pear, it might take it months to transition. And if it's like starting to transition and then it starts to get more nutrients, maybe it'll start to transition back. It's a really slow process for it to go each way. So it takes a much longer period of nutrient deficit for the prickly pear to begin to transition, and also a longer. As many hands as you need. Kind of a tricky spot.
love this. Indiana Jones thing that comes from.
Did you hear Indiana Jones? I did hear. Austin, do your Harrison Ford. You do it. Get the antique.
Wow, look at this.
Whoa! I love it.
So claustrophobic.
camps in Elephant Canyon. So if you were backpacking, that might be a camp you would get.
Wait. Where was it? Right under there?
Yeah.
Right down there where it
Oh, I
says
see.
down.
No,
That was
Yeah.
up a little bit.
flat on top
I'm not
of
going to camp under those cap rocks that are leaning over there. I was looking up to your left.
Oh, gotcha.
You know,
You're not playing.
Right up that slope.
Yeah, remember
You're on.
That was my
You're on.
Catch your breath at the top.
Come up this?
What's she doing? Beat Dakota.
she's gonna be saying, I'm just gonna be happy to be right at the top.
Then,
See?
Forward on your toes.
you got to come down now too.
All the way up.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now we're stuck.
Do it.
It does make that look easy.
Yeah.
Hey.
Anything between that tree and that work.
The amphitheater. I heard that.
We're going to see it in about 3 minutes.
Now say, I hope he doesn't fall on me. See if I can hear that. Very brave.
fortunately, we don't have to deal with that. Also, because of the height of these towers and just the angle of them, a lot of this area back up in here stays a lot cooler and more moist. Mostly like rural farming community, or at least like large, large properties, and people have horses and. I don't know that it's like, when I say farming, I don't mean like large scale agriculture, but a more rural community. But it's a nice alternative to Moab where people live, especially if they want. And it is one of, if not the most famous climb around Moab.
I bet.
There's a very high likelihood that we will see climbers up there today.
Yeah.
If I'd be surprised if we don't see them on the way up, but if not on the way up, then I would definitely imagine we'll see them on the way back. Normally we would absolutely see them up there. To tightrope walk across that little saddle in between the 2 points. Or some people will sit on it and sort of
Go
like
ahead.
scoot across.
You first.
And then you get to the tower, you climb up, you stand on the very tip, take your picture, and then climb down and go back over to there. Half a dozen people will sit around that.
Some climbers
And then from there,
just above the shadow
the
line.
big rock next to the big point next to Ancient Art, and then they'll climb Ancient Art.
Yeah, I had my Zoom, I could see him. Yeah, very, very cool. Is she still tied up there?
Getting dressed. Bravery. Holy smokes.
Go ahead, what about the girl in the orange dress? She still looks a little panicked. Or uncomfortable. Panicked is a strong word.
Are there two of them on the road?
No, just one.
There he goes. That's cool. That is cool.
The ranger's gonna do. And he had this like slow dawning expression of horror creep across his face. We're like, he's gonna tell you.
They're all excited.